Friends, this is Satvendra Sunet. Today we will discuss the seventh chapter of our book, Education is Life, and the title of this chapter is Role of Parents. So, in the last video, we discussed the last chapter, which was that the first teacher of a child is his mother. Today we will talk that in getting education for a child, the parents play a very important role. So the mother and father together, they have a very important and crucial role. And first thing we discussed in this chapter is that they should take care of the health of their child. We know that the more healthy the body of the child is, the more better healthy his or her brain will be. And for getting education, we know the sharp the brain is, the better education the child will receive. And it totally depends upon the health of the child. So the parents should pay attention to the sleeping habits of the child, that they are going to bed in time, they're waking up in time. They should also pay attention to their food habits. They should always try to give them healthy, nutritious food so that they grow faster, they become healthier. And if they take care of these things, then it really helps the children to get proper education. Second thing we have discussed in this chapter is that today in Punjab, in India, and throughout the world, people have a bigger circle of family, of friends now. Earlier, they have, especially if we talk about villages in Punjab and India, they used to have some families they were close to in the villages, the paternal families, and some families, the maternal families from the mother's side. But today, the people are working in big companies and departments, and they're meeting more people because of social media and internet. So the circle of people they know has grown very much. And on the other hand, the family functions have also increased. Especially, I noticed here in Punjab, in India. Earlier, when I was younger, there were only marriages and some when somebody died or funerals like that. But today, I noticed that there are always some retirement parties, there are birthday parties, there are all kinds of parties now going on. And many families, many parents, they're always busy in these programs. Many people I personally know, whenever I talk to them, they're always in some parties. And because of that, the education of their children are very getting affected, especially if their children are small in schools and colleges. And but there are some occasions that you have to go to these marriages, to these functions, but they should always keep in mind the education of their children. They should always pay attention that in any way the education should not get damaged. That if they have to avoid some function or some marriage, for example, if there is an exam for the children, final exams, so they should totally avoid going to these function, or even if they have to go, they should try to spend less time there as much as possible. The other thing which we have discussed in this chapter is that when the children are very small, very young, they do all kinds of childish mistakes, and we should normally not get angry, and we should not pay much attention to these. But many parents, they are always shouting, screaming, yelling at their children, and try to always stop them from doing things, and always tell them, do this thing this way, don't do this thing. And many times the children, they get irritated, they get frustrated, and this is not a very good thing even for the health of the children. But sometimes we notice that the children make mistakes which are not childish mistakes, which are not small mistakes. But if these mistakes are not corrected when they are young, when they are child, and when they become adult, these small mistakes, they become habits, and many of these mistakes are actually crimes. And if they are not corrected properly in childhood, they get the children into big problems, big troubles when they grow old. Like for example, fighting. Always, if the child is always fighting with his siblings or with other children in the neighborhood or in the school, it should be corrected. He should be told that this is not a good thing. He should never do this again. Or if the children start to lie for everything, then we should always try to correct them and make them realize that this is not just a mistake, it's actually a crime. And when they grow old, this can even land them in the jail if they don't stop doing this. The last thing we talked about is uh, that you must have noticed when the children are small, young, sometimes they talk really big things. Sometimes they will tell you that they want to become an astronaut, they want to go to the moon, or they want to become a big scientist like Albert Einstein or APJ Abdul Kalam in India, and they want to win a Nobel Prize. Or sometimes they tell that they want to start a company. When they grow, when they become adult, they will start a big company, become an industrialist like Ratan Tata or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. And normally people, parents laugh at the children because no one in normal families have done these kind of things, and they think that this is totally impossible. Not our father or grandfather, no one in our family has ever done anything like that, so how can you do this? And in this way they demotivate their child. So we should never discourage, but we should always encourage the children. We should tell them that in today's world everything is possible. If they want to become an astronaut, they can become an astronaut. If they want to become a scientist, they can become a scientist. If they want to become an entrepreneur or an industrialist, they can become that. It is just about hard work, focus, dedication. If they work hard enough, they will achieve whatever they want to be in the life. So there are also some other things which we have discussed in this chapter about the role of parents, and we request you to please share these videos as much as possible, so all the important information related to education could reach every family, every home. Let us come together to educate our Punjab, our country, because education is life. Thank you.